Who doesn't love bagels?
It's a legitimate question. Who doesn't love a good bagel? It's the food of college kids, of bodegas, of bakeries, of Panera breads. They're sweet, they're savory, they sometimes come in pizza form. Your dad loves bagels, I do too, you do, your sister does, we all love them. But nowhere is the bagel more popular than New York City.
Hey, don't bust my chops, all right?
Essa Bagel, Kossers, Shelsky's, Bo's, Zabar's, Bagel Corner, Pick a Bagel, Best Bagel and Coffee, Rico Bagel, Bagel Bob's, H&H.
Yeah, H&H Bagels, that's where I worked.
Mayor Mamdani said it himself. You can't really tell the story of New York City without telling the story of our bagels. Because when Jewish immigrants first came to New York at the turn of the 20th century, they were the ones that perfected the recipe. Perfectly crafted bread balls, boiled, then baked in the brick ovens of their tenement building basements. So why the heck is New York's biggest rival stealing the spotlight?
Hello, Newman.
No, not that one. This one.
Here it is, ground ball to second. Reese, the Boston Red Sox have won the pennant.
This is the whole truth. The story of the Boston bagel explosion.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
This is Boston's most hyped up bagel spot right now.
I've recently been on the hunt for Boston's best bagel sandwich.
These are 3 of Boston's best bagels.
Bagelsaurus in Cambridge.
Rebel Bagels.
Bagel Guild.
Exodus Bagels in Roslindale.
Cases Bagel.
Brick Street Bagels in the South End.
Today we're trying PopUp Bagels for the first time.
Finally trying
PopUp Bagels.
PopUp Bagels.
PopUp Bagels in Boston.
You can now get the viral PopUp Bagels in Boston.
PopUp Bagels. PopUp. Freaking PopUp Bagels.
Boston is a fish town, a chowder town, a place for pubs, for sandwiches, dogs, cannolis. But in February of 2025, something happened.
This is PopUp Bagels in the Seaport District, and this is Alex Rivera, bagel chef and manager.
I grew up eating bagels. I'm a Bostonian from day one,
WBZ News Radio is reporting from a trendy bagel chain's newest location in the Seaport. They're called PopUp Bagel.
Freaking PopUp Bagels.
Now, PopUp is from New York, and they're known for selling fresh bagels in bulk, telling customers to rip them open, and then dipping them into mammoth tubs of cream cheese.
PopUp is known for their rip and dip bagels.
The rip and dip.
Rip and dip.
We love a breakfast food. We love a breakfast sandwich. We love, donuts.
That's Bethany Graber, a freelance food writer based in Boston.
Dunkin' Donuts is so much a part of our culture. Like, we love a breakfast that you can grab and go, and I think that bagels fit the bill for that.
While it's easy to point to PopUp as sort of the Boston Bagel Big Bang, Bethany paints a much different and much more historic picture.
I think that it has been more of a slow roll than people realize. Like, if you go back to, Couples in Brookline has been around forever.
Couples is a local institution. They were founded in 1978, and you'd be hard-pressed to find somebody that doesn't call them one of the best bagels in the state.
On a busy day, by the way, they will sell 4,000 bagels.
But they were not the first to bring schmears to the area. Neither was Rosenfeld's in Newton, founded in 1973, though they did call themselves the original King Bagel, which, if you ask me, sort of presumptuous.
Here's a handy little device your stomach should not be without. It's called a Rosenfeld's bagel.
In reality, Boston's first bagel scene was a mirror of New York's, dating back to the 20s and 30s, when Jewish bakeries like Kate's and Chelsea began plying mass holes with golden brown pick-me-ups. Crunchy on the outside, pillowy soft on the inside, and of course, kneaded by hand.
Buy Kate's Bagels, we knead the dough, K-N-E-A-D. And that's one of our sayings. It gets a laugh out of everybody.
That's what you'll find in Boston today, but with one key difference. Instead of old family businesses, the newest wave of bagel shops has grown from a series of fresh-faced innovators, opening pop-ups wherever they can find space. Places like Bagelsaurus in Cambridge, which started in a sandwich shop, or the Grateful Bagel.
My connection with bagels is that I am a very snobby Jew from Jersey,
which Chef Darren Sylvan founded in his home.
We usually put up 750 bagels for sale
during the pandemic. Oh, that's right, the pandemic.
New tonight, more restaurants are going into hibernation. The limits and fears about indoor dining are huge burdens to overcome. As WBZ's Michael Cross tells us, many restaurant owners are deciding it's not worth it right now.
All right, I'm going to make this fast. When Jewish immigrants first came to New York and they made those bagels in those tenement building basements, they did it among, quote, so much dirt and filth. That's from the 1895 New York State Inspector's report, so you know it's legit. But these guys were living at work. They were fighting sickness, they were fighting vermin, they were weathering temperatures of over 100 degrees, and they were working 20 hours a day kneading bagels. They worked so hard that they unionized. They formed the Bagel Bakers Union, and they used to go on strike. Here's a headline from the New York Times in 1951. Bagel famine threatens in city. Labor dispute puts hole in supply. That's right, and they used to win these disputes. They used to negotiate for higher pay. They started getting their own storefronts. This wasn't just a food at this point. This was a tradition. This was a Jewish art form, and it was starting to spread all over the city. Ultimately, the only thing that could stop the Bagel Bakers Union was Daniel Thompson, the founder of the industrial bagel machine, which cranked out 10,000 dozen bagels a day. You need to realize how many bagels that is. That is so many bagels.
Money, please.
Soon, capitalism destroyed the Bagel Bakers Union, and the frozen bagel became America's favorite breakfast. Now, I say all of this to prove a point. Bagels have survived a lot of crazy shit. So it's not a surprise they survived a demon virus.
Late 2020, we started with a few hundred followers.
That's Adam Goldberg, the founder of PopUp. Before quarantine, he had never made a bagel before, but word of mouth and the internet made him an overnight sensation. That was the unique power social media had during the pandemic. Restaurants were going out of business, so the only lifeline to customers was to post content online. And ultimately, that was the difference maker for new bagel shops, like South Boston's Brick Street Bagels.
Come with me to try what some people are calling the best bagels in the country.
The best bagels in Boston.
The best I've ever had.
Brick Street.
Brick Street.
Brick Street. Brick Street.
Brick Street Bagels.
Between the success of Brick Street specifically and PopUp, while they're very different, they both used social media to their strong advantage.
Brick Street has over 46,000 Instagram followers. It was only founded in 2022 because Jordan Renouf started delivering bagels on his bicycle. Then he moved into a kitchen, and then the South End Buttery, and finally, late last year, his own shop in South Boston.
I think Brick Street, he got traction just by using Instagram to tell people he was selling bagels in the park.
But they're not the only success in the area, because if you hop on a blue bike and you head 2 miles north, you'll hit another pandemic brainchild, the Bagel Guild, operating out of Boston Public Market.
So we're here at the Boston Public Market getting ready to open.
And then it's a 16-minute bike ride to Rebel in Cambridge, where an MIT-educated James Beard nominee is serving up French onion bagels stuffed with melted Swiss cheese. And then, if you're somehow still hungry, you can go to Alston's Park Bakery, where the concrete jungle meets the Great White North.
So the New York part of our bagels, that denotes the fact that we use sourdough as a starter for our bagels. And then the Montreal side is twofold. One, there's a bit of maple syrup in the recipe for the batch of bagels, so it gives it a little bit of sweetness.
That's General Manager Brian Colbert, who described the formulation behind Park Bakery as, quote, long and arduous. Owner Jennifer Park spent 2 years perfecting her recipe before settling on the smaller, wood-fired Montreal bagel. Last year, Park Bakery opened in September, and if you listen close enough, you can feel some of that Canadian kindness wafting over the toaster and into the customer service.
There's someone here that you can talk to that's making the bagels every morning, which is, I think, really special and really unique. We want to make sure that you're talking to a very friendly human being every time you come in that will help you out if there's a problem with your order, if you want to make modifications or whatever. I think what distinguishes a place like this from a chain is the service, the care and attention that we have with making the product and then with serving the product.
October 2025, PopUp Bagels opens another Massachusetts location, this time in Harvard Square.
Hey, Brian.
You say, hey, Denise. Hey, Denise. That's it. That's all you need to do. You're good. So here we are in front of PopUp Bagels, and the address here is...
This is in addition to the Seaport, and another location they opened in July in Somerville. Plus, they expect to have 97 other locations nationwide by the end of 2027. But while PopUp is popping up nonstop in the Boston area, the expansion of the smaller, more independent shops is also noticeable. The type that populated basements, the type that continues stopping Americans on the street with fresh-baked smells and fragrant toppings. It's no secret that Boston's bagel scene, while nearly 100 years old, isn't as ubiquitous as Manhattan's or the Bronx's.
It's been that kind of incredible slow builds because there has been a market for them, and each one is a bit unique, so they all bring something a little bit different.
But it's steady, and it's upstart, and it's definitively Beantown.
They were kind of always here if you knew where to look. Now there's just kind of more of them.
Freaking PopUp Bagels.